Hello again. I'm just doing bits and pieces now before the rally. I've done a bit on the 323, but predominantly it's been getting the rally car ready. I'll just whiz you through what I've done. New batteries for the clock and Velcro on it. I got a new Geartronics gear indicator because the first one I blew, second one didn't work with the 15G sequential gearbox. So this one, yeah, I've just programmed it. They're all quite basic to program. We've reverted back to the original gear knob, which I wasn't sure if it would go on, seeing as we'd tapped the original shaft. I plugged the laptop in just to fiddle about the programming for the Easy Shift, and it said you can run the gear shift off the gear knob, which would be a switch, or the barrel, because inside the gearbox there's a disc that rotates and it sends a signal out of this connector that tells the gear indicator what gear it's in. So I programmed that into the Easy Shift, and I thought I'd try and run it off that, and it runs fine. Apparently it doesn't. I was told it wouldn't work. That's why I brought the gear knob. I don't know whether or not this is a later box and the earlier ones didn't work, but this seems to work fine. But I have only been up to 40 miles an hour, so I'll find out more. First stage, as soon as we leave the line, we're going to be up to like 90 before the first corner, so I'm guessing it'll be a good indication then. And if it doesn't, then I can just go back to take my foot off the throttle, change gear. Where the other gear knob, it was a bit higher, so it was really awkward to get to the lift up to get into reverse and neutral. So yeah, I think really you need to try things before you buy things. And when people say it can't be done, I'm not saying it can be done, but it looks so far as if it can be done. But we'll see when it's used in anger. The fire suppression stick. That's a 100-minute fire suppressant. And apparently what it does, you take the front cover off, you pull it out and then slide it back, and then the yellow knob has got like a match head on it, and you strike the end of this stick, and it's like it ignites, but it gives off a chemical that reacts with flames and puts the flames out. Apparently they're very good. Whereas these will help dull the flames. It's a suppressant, so they will wet everything, but if there's still fuel, it will keep going. It's just that a lot of people seem to, when they do have a fire, these extinguishers don't really put the fire out, and I thought for the money you end up spending on the car, it's a fraction of the cost just to get that working. I think that was £80 for 100-minute. Hopefully I never need it, but it's there in case I do. I think that's it for inside the car. Oh, I've changed the brakes, been bedding in the rear brakes. We've got a 40 mile an hour speed limit, so if you can find a road with 40 on it, I've been using the handbrake just to slow the car down and then speed up again, 40 to 20, 40, 20, just to get some heat into them. So I've got scrutineering tomorrow evening. I'm getting scrutineered early because I have to scrutineer the cars on the Thursday evening. So tomorrow's Wednesday. So hopefully that'll all be, hopefully it's all done, and I'm so hoping we get to the end of the rally. I've put the light bar on. That has to be wired up from the stalk switch, from high beam, through a switch there. So it won't come on if that's not on, or if that's not on. Just in case you forget to turn the switch off. Yeah, so they work really well. I think that's it for the car. I've changed the oil. I put Miller's 1060, and it's CFS, which is really expensive, but it's supposed to be very good. Well, when I say really expensive, I think it's £70 for 5 litres. Right, I think that's it for preparation on the car, but I have done bits on the 323, which I'll show you now. I thought I'd better add that the fire suppressant system is 100 seconds, not 100 minutes. I don't really think you should be tackling a fire for that long. So 100 seconds hopefully would be enough time to put a fire out. Right, I've dropped the engine. There's one bolt on the gearbox I've got to get to. I'd forgotten that I'd put the starter motor back in, so I thought the starter motor was out, but it wasn't. So, but also now it's dropped, it's a lot easier getting to the bolts that I need to get to. Yeah, then it's a case of jacking the front of the car up. There's no weight in it now, so it should lift easy enough, high enough that I can slide the engine out the bottom. But if I get the gearbox off, it'll make life a lot easier. Hopefully the engine won't fall over when I do that, but I'll give it a go. I'm getting a little bit frightened now. That's trying to push the front of the car up. It looks like it's going to pop out. I've just managed to get a trestle under the chassis leg with a couple of blocks on it. So yeah, there's nothing on that side, but there was a gap between that and the chassis leg anyway. So if I'd like to go up a little bit further. I'm getting a bit close to the roof up there, but I really don't think that's going to put up with any more pressure on it. There's not that much weight in the car. I think I'll let that down, rest it back on there, and at least then I can see if I can pick it up myself. Well, I got the gearbox off in the end. Those bolts, I've never had a bolt so stiff as those. I had to get a steel tube onto the ratchet and try and get as much weight, and even then it was still hard to get them off. Yeah, that'll go to the guy who wants the engine. I'll keep the flywheel. Yeah, we've got the car fully supported on 2 trestles now, so it's pretty solid. And yeah, you can see I've got a bit more work to do, looking at things that I couldn't really see before. But you know, it's nothing. This front panel's gonna be the worst bit, but I've got another one of those that just I need to work out, unpick it or whatever you do. I've seen a bit more around where, yeah, it's just when I get on this side I'll be able to see more. Go from there, but that's great. That's so heavy though, or I'm just getting older. I need to put it on a trolley or something. I don't know how I'm gonna get it out. I might get someone with a lorry with a crane on to lift it over the wall, rather than take it through the house. I'm trying to get the exhaust off, but the bolts, none of them are undoing. The manifold bolts don't undo. So I tried cutting it with my saber saw, but I've got no decent blades, so I can't grind it because loads of fluids come out of it, and I don't know if it's water, fuel, you know, wooden shed, fuel, sparks, not a good idea. So yeah, I'm chuffed it's out, but I should really be doing the rally car. We've got the rally scrutineering's in 5 days, so I haven't got a great deal to do. I am waiting for a couple of bits to turn up, but yeah, I'm glad that's out. I've just been putting the stuff in the car to get out of the way, but I'll end up taking everything out and take the door off, and I'll push it on its side. There's not much weight in it. I can pick it up myself now, one end at a time, so I should be able to slide it away from the wall, get the door off, put some tyres down, and then jack it up and roll it onto its side, hopefully. Well, you know, I'm getting the whole side's being replaced apart from the door, and the door won't be on, so it shouldn't matter if it makes a little bit of damage, but I don't think it will if it's on tyres. There's not a lot of weight in it. Right, till the next chapter.